Today, Brent is tying up a woolly bugger, one of the most sought-after flies for most anglers. This fly is tied in endless colors and sizes, using various materials.
We start here with a woolly bugger. Now this fly is one of the most sought-after flies ever created. And it was created by Russell Blessing many years ago. He actually, all he did was he put a marabou tail on the end of a woolly worm, which was a very good fly over the years, still is, which has red hackle fibers, and he basically just put a marabou tail on it, and hence it kind of spawned a whole realm of flies here. That there's hundreds and hundreds of different patterns of woolly buggers. It just never stops with all different materials and that so forth that we're coming out with. So I'm putting some red or fluorescent fire orange thread on here, 6/0 thread. It's a size 8 hook. I'm going to put some O2O lead wire on the front here to get a little undulation. I'm going to tie this more so what for a lake situation is what I'm doing here. So you'll see I have a little bit of lead on the front. Now if I was going to a river, I'd probably go with a lot heavier lead than that to get it down or underlaid a little better. So the thing about tying your own flies is you can create whatever weight you need for your situation or what the waters you're fishing. So there's so many different ways of even dressing the same pattern for different situations. Okay, now while we're speaking about that, the tail, the marabou tail is critical, and then selecting the marabou is also. If I was to fish this on a river situation, for example, I'd want to grab myself a plume like so. It's got a really nice soft pulsating type heavy plume that I'd use in a river. That would work just great. Now if I'm going into a lake situation, I want to get more of the blood plume, which would be like this. Got some really long soft hackles. We're going to pull some of this off the bottom that it's not that great, and we'll come off the side here. We'll just pull a little bit off the side, one side, and it's going to be a very slender tail. Make sure the tips are straight. I like to use the natural tips. I'm going to be using just a little bit longer than hook shank here. I'll pinch that on the side. That means I have my finger on the side, my thumb on this side, pinching on both sides of the shank, and I'm coming around the back. The tie-in point will be just by the point of the barb. You're going to see the point of the barb right there. Now also, we come around behind the tail a couple of times, and that'll keep the material on top of the shank and won't wrap around. Now you can just trim that off, keep this slender for a lake fly. Okay, then we'll come in with some variegated chenille. Before I do that, I need some flash on the tail. And that will be some, I like this polar flash. It's really nice and bright. I'm going to take 2 strands of that, kind of an olive. Light olive, or nice and bright. Actually, I've got 3. It looked like I had 2. And I'll just take one off this side as well. You're going to leave lots on there. Being it's for a lake, I'm going to just thin everything down. Don't want the flash to overpower itself. You can fish it without flash too. Sometimes you get too much flash on a fly, it's almost counterproductive. Okay, then for durability, I'm going to add some small copper wire on here. That's another thing. We can really help our flies with making them a lot more durable. Take our time to tie these flies, but let's not, the fishing is real good and you start breaking, or hackles are flying off and so forth. So we're going to tie our copper wire on the top, come back several turns. See, it's a little bit of a bump there. We're just going to level that out a little bit with my thread. Then we use some, this is a variegated chenille. It's got a little bit of flash in it. This is really nice. Got some olives and browns in it, and gives you quite a different, unique look. Now we can hand over hand that. I'm just going to use my Norvise here. Wrap that forward. Tie it off. I've had lots of folks ask me about Norvise. Wonder what I was doing. I was tying it kind of quick, so forth. And I've done Norvise demos in the past, and I'll do that as well here with these informational videos that I'm doing now. I'm going to just kind of focus in on a few of those things. So maybe I'll do a 2-part segment or something like that on some of my Norvise tips and techniques for those of you that are into the rotary tying. Okay, so we don't want to crowd the eye on the hook. We make sure we come back, leave a little space. That's kind of the biggest fault we have with tying our flies. We crowd the eyes. So I'm coming in here. I'm going to be using saddle hackle. Now this is hackle. It comes from the back of the chicken. The cape is under the breast feathers, basically under the front of the bird. They're a lot stiffer, better for dry flies. These soft hackles on the back are much better for streamers, especially woolly buggers. Now I'm going to catch my hackle in here. That means I'm coming in at a 45-degree angle, and I can just catch it on the side, get some good turns, throw a 1/2 inch in there, get my thread out of the way, put it on the post, also get rid of my wire. It's in behind here. I'm going to take 3 or 4 turns at the front. I want to definitely collar. Then we'll start wrapping our hackle toward the rear. I'll grab my wire, and we're just going to reverse wrap. And that means I can still, just by turning it the same way and going forward, I've counter wrapped the hackle. That hackle will not fall apart. Then we'll come and make a really nice head on tie a large bright head on this fly. I'm using that fluorescent fire orange. It's a strike trigger, if you will. It's very easily seen. I'm going to use some UV. This is a fluorescent color, so when you hit it with the UV light, it really lights up. You're going to see that in a second. And just another add-on. So every time we're going to find a lot of new materials as we go into these shops and whatever, and you'll be able to trick out your own flies with materials that you like to use. And once you start finding a few flies that really fish well for you, that's the ones you're going to keep tying and throwing. So here we are with our light. You can see that fluorescent thread is really bouncing a lot of light. So the trout see that fluorescent color. And that is probably one of the best flies ever created. It's the first fly I was teaching any of my students on the fly tying course. And it's so versatile. Like I say, you can go from very small sizes to large sizes for, I think any fish out there will eat a woolly bugger. It's just a great fly. So thanks to Russell Blessing for starting the trend out on the woolly buggers, and we thank you for joining us today. We'll hope to see you up in some of our next coming segments. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you later.
Here is the recipe for one of Brent's favorite woolly buggers for lakes. The coloration and movement works very well. You can target walleye and bass with this one. And would like to thank Brent for sharing with us. Make sure to check out his YouTube channel and follow him on X. Search Brent on Sport Fishing on the Fly website and YouTube channel. There are 30 years of TV shows and other protein videos available for the fly angler. Take care and conserve the waters.